I've got your energy stories for the third week of October 2023. And in the first one, and the biggest story of the week, the Biden administration announced 7 hydrogen hubs eligible to receive a total of $7 billion in subsidies. Hubs typically involve suppliers, off-takers, and the infrastructure providers that sit in the middle. The 7 winners include an Appalachian hub including West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and Kentucky, with blue hydrogen involving carbon capture and storage and involving over a dozen players for a total of $925 million. A California hub using renewables and biomass involving heavy-duty vehicles and power plants receiving up to $1.2 billion. A Gulf Coast hub for both blue hydrogen with carbon capture and green hydrogen from renewables, including a network of 48 hydrogen production facilities and 1,000 miles of pipeline, also accessing up to $1.2 billion. A Midwestern hub involving Minnesota and the Dakotas focused on fertilizer and power gen, getting $925 million. A second Midwestern hub involving Illinois, Indiana, and Michigan focusing on heavy industrial end uses such as steel and glass, as well as power gen, trucking, and aviation, using a variety of renewables, nukes, and gas with carbon capture, getting up to $1 billion. A Mid-Atlantic hub getting hydrogen from renewables and nuclear, getting up to $750 million. And finally, a Pacific Northwest hub focused on 100% green hydrogen from electrolyzers, with utilities and ports involved receiving up to $1 billion. Also in H2 news this week, Florida Power and Light commenced operations at its 25 megawatt Cavendish NextGen hydrogen hub using solar energy and electrolyzers to make hydrogen for blending in small amounts with methane to power its 1,723 megawatt gas-fired Okeechobee plant. A lot also happened on the customer side of the meter this week. Vermont utility Green Mountain Power launched its Zero Outages initiative, including $250 million to underground and storm-hardened transmission and distribution lines, as well as an initial $30 million to deploy energy storage through batteries and microgrids, eventually involving every customer. In announcing this, GMP noted that its 3 worst storms in terms of outages occurred in just the past year, totaling $45 million in repairs. Meanwhile, in California, Pacific Gas and Electric unveiled its microgrid incentive program and handbook, which offers funding, expertise, and guidance for the creation of community, local, and tribal multi-customer microgrids. This is part of a statewide $200 million grant program authorized by the California Public Utilities Commission to fund clean community microgrids in disadvantaged and vulnerable communities. And in Maryland, utility PEPCO and partner Housing Initiative Partnership are breaking ground on a first-of-its-kind affordable home ownership development project with 6 zero-energy single-family homes powered by PEPCO's Block Energy community energy system, joining rooftop solar and local battery energy storage. The 6 detached single-family homes will use modular construction designed to meet the U.S. Department of Energy's Zero Energy Ready Homes program and the Passive House Institute's 2018 standard. Homes will be sold to first-time homebuyers earning 80% or less of the area's median income. The DOE selected 5 generation and transmission cooperatives to receive grants totaling $30 million, funding up to 50% of each project. These are intended to prove out long-duration vanadium flow batteries from Invinity Energy Systems in remote locations and will be capable of between 700 kilowatts and 3.6 megawatts of capacity for periods up to 20 hours. California Governor Newsom just signed a slew of energy-related bills, including one to speed up interconnection of assets to transmission lines. However, the one I find most fascinating is Senate Bill 49 that permits highway rights-of-way to be utilized for storage, solar, and transmission. There's a ton of space nationally that could be used for solar development. Perhaps more importantly, if we can use highway rights-of-way, we can move high amounts of power, likely through undergrounded HVDC lines, perhaps solving this vexing transmission NIMBY issue related to overhead lines. Watch this space to see if something transpires in highway rights-of-way in the years to come. And finally, blockchain firm Standard Power plans to procure 1,848 megawatts of electricity for 2 U.S. data center sites in Ohio and Pennsylvania with nuclear energy from 24 of NuScale's small modular reactors. The goal is to be operational by 2029. Well, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again next week.